Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, but also how we're going to fix this country together. And the content that I'm going to show you right now is a big surprise. No one would have seen it coming. Giffords.org is giving $15 million in support, universal staffing, door knocking, ad money, ad buys to the Harris campaign. That's weird. I'm sure it has nothing to do with the fact that at the same time, the husband of Gabby Giffords, or founder of Giffords.org, is being considered for the VP. That is totally not related, you conspiracy theorist, you. Well, we're going to dive into all of it right now, and I cannot wait to show you what we've got. Of course, make sure that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on, and as always, everything is linked right down there in the description, and I need to hear you in the comments to spread this far and wide to just make sure everyone knows how hypocritical these people are, but we're going to get to it in a second. And the content today is brought to you by this innovation right here. It's called Kamala. Now, what this does is, it looks pretty familiar. It's the engine of most ARs. This turns an AR into a bolt gun. Okay, so you could look at this application-wise from target shooting, from accuracy, from a first-time shooter, expanding the 2A. This is a great option to at least look around innovation-based that Kamala has brought to the market. Now, the cool thing about this, not only is this a complete drop-in kit, this also funds the Second Amendment Foundation, which brings the lawsuits forward to make the need for this completely obsolete. Thus, you are doing a complete circle. Kamala is the innovation. Thank you so much to them for making this content possible. But now, people, I've got to show you, the shenanigans. Because I'm sure there's no coincidence that $15 million is going to Harris from the Giffords.org campaign, that also her husband and Mark Kelly from the Senator from Arizona has been considered as the VP to make a gun controlling ticket. I'm sure none of that makes sense, but we'll get into it. We will absolutely get into it. Oh, here we go, people. Hey, just side note before I say it. Do you guys remember when we were always attacked about the NRA, the dark money controlling Washington, and politicians were in the pockets of the NRA and the gun lobby and all that, and how evil it was to have money in politics around guns? No? Just me? Okay. Well, anyway, here's the title. Giffords Group commits $15 million to boost Kamala Harris and gun safety candidates. You're about to see some Freudian slips here in a second. Watch this. House battlegrounds to help gun safety champions with ads, polling, and staffing to reach key groups of voters. That's the whole point. I had this rolling hypothesis around the idea that Kamala Harris was coming to energize the race is much more about the House versus the actual presidency. That's just my own little theory. But look right here. Isn't that interesting? All the money is going for a push in swing states for House battlegrounds. I'm just saying. Anyway, let me show you what they're doing, because it's not hypocritical at all. Because again, remember, dark money controlling Washington. All right. As you can see, I kind of went crazy and highlighted a lot of stuff because all of this stuff is really important for you to know. Going to be honest, let me scoot in here for you. Here we go. As you can see, came out July 26th, 2024. The gun safety group Giffords is rolling out $15 million campaign to help de facto Democratic presidential nominee Kamala Harris, no votes by any Democrat, by the way, defeat Republican rival Donald Trump, as well as help House candidates in battleground districts who favor tougher gun laws. See that? Isn't it weird how that continues to make an appearance? The House battleground states, the swing states, House, they're always hitting on the House. It's interesting because that's not normal. Anyway, let's continue. The new spending blitz, first reported by NBC News, will cover paid TV and digital ads, direct mail in English and in Spanish, new polls to help allies hone their messages, and deployment of staffers and surrogates. So I'm going to get to the tie-in for the reason of English and Spanish in a second, because they're actually targeting them later on. But wait for this, because all this stuff, this all comes together. Again, don't look at the big elephant in the room, or in this case, the big donkey in the room, that's saying the $15 million is going to help the Kamala Harris campaign. And oh, by the way, the founder that's giving the $15 million, that group, yeah, her husband's a senator, Mark Kelly from Arizona, who's being considered to be the VP. None of that's important. It's conspiracy theorist again. You guys are crazy. Anyway, the group is focusing those resources on swing states like Michigan and Arizona. By the way, Trump is beating Harris in both of those currently, as well as California and New York. Well, wait a minute. California and New York, where a series of competitive races could decide control of the House. There it is again, guys. Nothing is by coincidence. Nothing is by accident. Why, if the entire point, and this is the question, I want to hear you in the comments. If the entire point is to get Kamala Harris elected as president and beat Trump, the evil threat to democracy, while the Democrats completely avoided democracy altogether in Kamala Harris, don't mention that one. Why would they be also focusing in New York and California in House races? Does that check out? It doesn't pass the sniff test. Their priority is the House to stop Trump as basically a big firewall under Hakeem Jeffries. That's what you're seeing right now. No one else is talking about that. But there's only one reason that they would go to deep blue areas in California and New York is if they were afraid they were going to lose House seats. Let's continue. Got even more for you. This is the part where they start manipulating people. Again, remember that Spanish and English part thing? Quote, this is from the executive director, Emma Brown. The issue is actually moving votes and able to really affect electoral outcomes. So we are planning to use our resources this year, particularly the $15 million, to support gun safety champions and to communicate directly with voters who are uniquely mobilized by guns in key battleground races across the country. Voters who are uniquely mobilized by guns. What could they be talking about? Keep in mind, again, all of this does not happen in a vacuum. All of this is tied together. What does it make sense what makes them uniquely, what was the exact word? Uniquely mobilized by guns in key battleground races. It's the same groups of people that they've been targeting with you're 10 times more likely to die by a gun if you have a gun. Oh my God, women, don't buy guns because you're more likely to be a victim of abuse. Oh my God, women, don't do this. Oh my God, minorities, don't do this. It's all the same fear tactics. They don't endorse freedom. They endorse and offer fear. But anyway, let's continue. Again, all of this is stacking in a very important direction. Brown, again, executive director of Giffords.org, declined to comment on the fact that Harris is vetting co-founder of the group, Senator Mark Kelly, Democrat Arizona, former Representative Giffords' husband, saying it isn't getting involved in the vice president speculation. Yeah, I wouldn't either if I was getting $15 million in support to the candidate who's going to potentially vet your husband for the, VP spot. Yeah, I wouldn't want to talk about that either. But anyway, I'm just saying. Okay. Now, this last piece, again, this is where the manipulation starts. This is from the same person. Gun legislation has high support, but also that it attracts groups of voters with the power to decide the election, primarily suburban women, Latinos, and black voters. Perceptions of Democrats improve, quote, when we layered on gun messaging, said Brown. So not only are they going to say, oh, the abortion thing, oh, the threat to democracy thing, oh, and guns go too. How many ways can I scare the crap out of you to vote for me so I can take more of your rights? Again, remember what we said earlier in this video when I showed you earlier in this article. Oh, they're sending these out in Spanish and in English. Again, wow, that's kind of weird. So they're targeting suburban women with fear. They're targeting Latinos in Spanish for fear. And they're targeting black voters with fear. And then when you layer on all the other pieces of fear, you get a nice little fear sandwich, but make sure to vote for your Democrat because we believe in democracy, even though Kamala Harris has never received one vote. She was just instilled by the Democrat elite. But don't you say it. Don't you say it. You're crazy. And last but not least, I got to say it. In 2019, Harris endorsed a mandatory buyback program for military-style weapons, which Republicans have attacked as gun confiscation. You think? It hurts. I think that's all I got for it. Yeah, that is all I got in this article. So let me just sum up again. So you've got Giffords.org, one of the leading organizations that are gun control groups in the United States, who has spent years lambasting the NRA and Republicans for being in the dark money pools and controlled by the NRA and the gun lobby. Right? You guys remember that. Of course you do, because we talk about it all the time. And now that the election comes around, $15 million from Giffords.org, which was founded by Gabby Giffords, married to Senator Mark Kelly, consideration for VP by Harris, now $15 million to go into the Harris campaign to help all of these things in swing states to preserve not only the gun vote in Michigan and in Michigan and Arizona, but also California and New York. Weird, isn't it? It's almost like they smell fear for themselves and they've got to pass that along to their voters. Never mind, the co-founder of the group giving $15 million in support, Giffords.org, to Harris, is being vetted as a vice presidential candidate. Guys, sweet Lord, send this out, please. We are working our magazines off. because this has got to get out there. You've got to send it out. You've got to spread it. You've got to be active and make sure that you vote or you register to vote, because we have got some tyranny to stop and starts right here. Let me know what you guys think, and I will see you on the next one.